Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a pretty significant decision for homeowners, roof replacement, especially when, the economic picture is a bit uncertain.
Absolutely. We've got some material here focusing on Enviroshake roofing, and we're aiming to pull out the key takeaways for anyone thinking about this.
Right, trying to balance that immediate cost against, well, the long-term value and also the risks if you decide to wait.
It really brings up that core tension, doesn't it? Being cautious with spending versus potentially facing bigger costs or problems if you put off essential maintenance like a roof.
Exactly. The material makes a case for acting now, even with everything feeling a bit unpredictable. Why is that?
Well, the main point is that roof issues don't really stay static. They tend to get worse over time.
Right, makes sense.
So delaying doesn't usually save money. In fact, you're probably looking at higher material costs, maybe higher labor costs down the road.
Hmm.
And maybe more importantly, a dodgy roof leaves your whole house vulnerable, doesn't it? Think about storm damage. A small leak today could be, major structural damage after one bad storm.
Okay, so it's a risk management thing too. And this Enviroshake product, the document seems to present it as more than just patching a problem. It's framed as a, a long-term value proposition.
Yeah, that's the angle. They talk about it almost like future-proofing your home. The idea is you invest in this really durable material now.
And you hopefully avoid headaches later.
Exactly. Fewer repairs, less maintenance, and maybe you don't have to replace it again for a very long time. Plus, they argue it adds real resale value.
Okay, but what about the obvious alternative? Cheaper options like standard asphalt shingles. Lots of people go that route to save money up front.
True. And the document addresses that. It basically says that initial saving might be a bit deceptive.
How so?
Well, asphalt roofs just don't last as long, maybe 10, 15 years, right? Compared to something like Enviroshake, which aims for decades.
So you could end up replacing the asphalt roof maybe two, three, even four times in the same period.
Potentially, yes. And when you add up the cost of all those replacements materials, labor each time, plus any maintenance in between.
That cheaper option suddenly doesn't look so cheap overall.
That's the argument.
Uh,
Plus, things like leaks, maybe mold issues if things aren't perfect. And they also touch on resale value, suggesting a premium roof is more appealing, especially maybe in certain neighborhoods.
Interesting. Does the document mention any other specific financial upsides to Enviroshake beyond just lasting longer?
It does, yeah. It actually claims a pretty significant return on investment through increased home value, something like 70 to 80% ROI.
Wow, okay.
And it also points to potential savings on home insurance.
Yeah.
They mentioned State Farm as one example, where you might get discounts for having a more impact-resistant, durable roof.
Right, less risk for the insurer.
And one more thing, better insulation compared to, say, cedar or asphalt. So maybe slightly lower heating and cooling bills. Every little bit helps, I guess.
Definitely. Okay, what about peace of mind? Is there a strong warranty backing this up?
Yeah, that's a big selling point they highlight.
Yeah.
Enviroshake offers a transferable, limited lifetime warranty.
Transferable, that's good if you sell.
Exactly. It provides that long-term security, both for you and potentially for the next owner. The document really emphasizes, the product's proven performance and third-party ratings as well. Reliability.
And tied into that reliability, I suppose, is the company itself, especially, as we said, in uncertain times.
Right. The document kind of frames Enviroshake's focus on innovation, sustainability, and customer service as another layer of confidence, choosing an established brand in a wobbly market.
Got it. So if we boil it all down, the takeaway from this seems to be, even when money feels tight, investing in a really robust, long-lasting roof like Enviroshake might actually be the more financially savvy, practical move in the long run.
Yeah, it's about preventing those potentially much larger future costs and risks that come with, a less durable, shorter lifespan roof.
It's weighing that upfront cost against all those potential future headaches, recurring replacements, damage repairs, the whole thing.
Precisely. Thinking about the total cost of ownership, not just the initial price
Okay.
tag, and the security it provides for your home.
Which leads us to our final thought for you listening. When you're faced with a roofing decision, try to step back and take that long view. What's the real cost over time? What are the risks you're mitigating? And what's the lasting value and security worth to you? Something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us.